Tell us more about what you saw in Gaza.
I wrote about most of the individual cases. There's actually tons more um, people that I spoke with, and actually after I returned, there's a psychologist that I was working closely there, and he told me about a woman that he's working with. Um, he got her permission to tell me. I don't know her name. She was abducted by the Israelis. She was held in detention and for I think it was 3 weeks, and she was raped by 9 soldiers. Her children were killed, and her husband, she knows nothing about where he is. He was injured, and she doesn't know if he's alive or dead. And what he described to me is harrowing. There's also besides the outright rape stories, there's also a lot of other sexual crimes of, like, for example, when they invade homes or invade schools or whatever, of course they strip the men usually, but there were several cases where they stripped both the men and the women, and they made them all stand in the same room, and they were blindfolded, and then they would take their blindfolds off. And of course, everybody's, immediate reaction is to close their eyes to spare everybody else's dignity. And but they told them that, they made them look, and they said, open your eyes. And said, if you don't open your eyes and look, we're going to shoot you. And they were shooting people who didn't just look. So that was happening. I mean, it's just crimes on such a sadistic, systematic, unreal scale. I think we all understood for a long time what a pathological society Israel was. But to see how truly pervasive it is within the whole society has in some ways been surprising. I mean, to not be, for the entire society to not be at all moved in any way by this ineffable agony that they're inflicting on people is something that I think scientists are going to be studying for decades, because this is a truly sociopathic society. It should not be welcome among the rest of humanity. It really should not. This kind of sociopathy is really shocking, and I think maybe the world is finally seeing what Palestinians have had to live under for so long. It's this, like, psychopathy that has been, branded as morality and the most moral army and the only democracy and all these other asinine slogans that bear no resemblance to reality.
It really is unbelievable to see people defending Israel now, given all we've seen on social media. I think it was easier to be in denial about Israel before, and now it just requires real either dishonesty and, a genuine disregard for Palestinians, like they just don't care, or brainwashing, or some kind of, as you said, psychopathy. And the fact that even among Israelis who are critical of Netanyahu, it's not, some of them are critical of him from the right, that he's not killing more Palestinians.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of support for the amount of force, except that they want more force.
Yeah, they want to. I mean, even here in the U.S., there's some, that Congressman Wahlberg.
It's Joe Biden's reason. We need to get humanitarian aid into Gaza. I don't think we should. I don't think any of our aid that goes to Israel to support our greatest ally, arguably maybe in the world, to defeat Hamas and Iran and Russia, And probably North Korea's in there and China too, with them and helping Hamas. We shouldn't be spending a dime on humanitarian aid. It should be like Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Get it over quick.
Of course, he tried to walk it back a little because of the backlash, but we all heard him. They're also like gaslighting the whole world. Like, we hear and see what the hell they're doing, and then they come on and just like with a straight face and say, no, we didn't. That's not how it was. Hamas did it. It was an error. Targeting and firing 3 separate missiles into the WCK clearly marked cars. Oh, it's just the fog of war.